So I was looking at the financials, S&P 500. Noticed that it lost a lot of points, and these are things that I'm watching. The Dow Jones is down big time. Now I predicted that if it hit 21,000 or under, we're in trouble. I foresee layoffs coming in certain sectors. And I think a lot of people don't understand that yet because the market is always ahead. So I'd like for all of you out there to keep that in mind. Um, you may want to save your money and watch what your job is telling you. Let's see what else. The Russell 2000 was down. The FTSE was down. A lot of the airplane companies, aviation stocks were down. Stores stocks were down. Now, if this becomes a 3 month issue, with the markets staying at, or the Dow Jones staying at 21,000, we may be ending up in a recession or going into a recession. And that is scary. Because I don't know if you guys follow Peter Schiff or other economists, but if the bubble has been pinched, I mean, if you just look further into the future, if we were in a bubble and it's been pinched in the last 3 months of this bad economic downturn, the Dow Jones being at 21,000, then that's not good. Oh, that's almost like a quarter. So I worry about a lot of people. People will lose their houses. People will lose jobs, places where they live. They may have to move back in with their family members or more than one family. I just don't see. This whole taking out loans and by the government, like in trillions. I mean, where's that money coming from? The quantitative easing obviously is not a. I mean, we don't know yet, but a lot of economists are saying that we're borrowing money from nowhere. That means like the federal treasury is printing money, so there's nothing to back it up. It's like an IOU. I mean, IOU. Who's gonna pay that back? So that kind of worries me because you can't just put money into the economy and not back it up with gold and think that everything's gonna be okay. So that's one of those things that we gotta look out for and not kid ourselves. So watch your jobs. May start seeing layoffs in 3 months. If we start, if we don't get above 21,000 and move forward, then I can see layoffs in certain sectors. I don't know. Yeah. So watch out for that, for the financial impact of this coronavirus. That's all I got for that. So let's move into the next topic, which is mutation. So, um, I want to add some more to the financial situation. So, here are some predictions that I'm thinking it's going to happen. Keep an eye and ear open for wages to see what happens. Big companies, major companies, keep an eye on those guys too. Because when they fall, a lot of things can triple down. But if your wages, so let's go into the wages. See, if you decrease wages, you lose your wages, then that turns into layoffs. And depending on the companies, I mean, there can be thousands of people out of work. And that can turn into other issues. Losing homes, losing your cars. Now, I heard about 3 or 4 years ago that there was a loan situation with cars that were being done that was not good. So a lot of people bought cars with bad loans. So a lot of people are going to lose their cars. When they lose their homes or risk of their homes, a lot of people are gonna look towards solutions to get out of it. Short sales, dump it on somebody who doesn't know. Some people can go and die. Like back in 1933, people in the stock exchange jumped out of windows. So, but it's too soon. It's too soon to start saying things that may happen. But just keep an eye on that because that's where it can go. Alright? We need to hope for the best and that this virus situation gets contained so then people can go back to work. But you know what? I think that one guy I was listening to was kind of smart to say that maybe the old people should be indoors while the young folks go to work. This way, people keep working and keep funding, the financial system. So, this. Also, the issue is that this whole thing was like a bubble. It started back in 2010 or something, or 11. Um, because some of the loans or rescue that the government gave to some of the companies should not have been given. They should have just gone bankrupt. And back in that time, the financial wasn't blown up too much. But now we do have supposedly a huge bubble. Now I don't know if this is gonna be the one that pops it all the way. But there's just so many things that are happening to kind of like soften the blow, and that's kind of worrisome. So when the government talks about putting 50 billion here, 10 billion there, 20 billion here, 50, 40 billion, billions, billions, getting up to a trillion? I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. That's why I see that there may be some layoffs coming. So, but not yet. So, let's just keep an eye out till the mid of April and see how everything looks. Because it would take much longer than a week or 2 weeks to hurt the economy. So, but yeah, I think that's these are things we should be watching for. Another thing I heard, which was also scary, was the big three companies for the cars were going to meet yesterday or sometime later this week. And what they were going to decide is close down some plants or all their plants. That's huge. That means people without work, wages. How are they going to finance stuff? So, I mean, no loan. They can't pay their loans, their houses. They can't pay their car, tuitions. That's a little strange. It just doesn't seem a way that we can survive as an economic powerhouse. So that's something we should keep an eye on. So, the airplane industry is getting hurt. Hotel industry is getting hurt. Restaurants are getting hurt. New. They've been. Some of these have been told to close for a certain amount of time. I keep hearing 30 days, but I don't know, man. That's not a good idea. 30 days. A month. I mean, 2 weeks, okay. Let's see what happens. But a month, I don't know. So, that all this is what's contributing to my thoughts about what may happen. But keep in mind that it's going to be under a month, so that may not be such a big deal. Let's, if it goes over a month, that's where I would start thinking, like, oh boy. Now, if this is the big bubble that's been popped, that can be a lot of different things that are going to be affected globally and domestically. You know, um, because the value of things are going to change, are going to be weird. That's where I don't know how it's going to affect. So, I don't want to keep going on this without any questions. I got to come up with more things that we have to watch out for. So just listen to wages, or listen to how much is being spent by the government. What are the big industry companies are doing? How many employees they have? Or where is the market for them? The virus, where it goes, what happens to it. Is it being contained? I don't know. Okay. So I think that's it for that. I think if I come up with more stuff, I'm gonna add stuff to this. So yeah. So don't be surprised. So this is a big tsunami that may be happening. A tsunami of economic system. So we don't know how big the earthquake is. But if you think about it, the longer the earthquake, the bigger the waves. That's, that's an interesting situation. That's where, I mean, that's where it can be said that the longer this goes with this financial situation, the bigger the tsunami wave, and that may that will last the longer. The bigger the wave, the more chaos. Yeah. So keep that in mind. I'll keep you guys informed as much as I can. because I'm watching every day, like what's happening. I try not to listen too much because it can be too much. So, all right.